开始了，你还在干嘛啊？
哦哟，还有3个文案 deadline 到到期了，我还没写完，而且下礼拜要考试，英文考试我也忘记了。哦，烦欸。
啊，你就拖延症末期啊！我们就早就知道了。我知道你很忙，所以我们要送你一个礼物，超级适合你的呢。
什么礼物？啊，这啥？送钟？什么意思？送钟？为什么要送时钟？
这
你要把我送走是不是？这很厉害耶！
像它这边啊，它是可以调灯光，有4个模式，然后它还可以当小夜灯呢，超方便的好不好？而且它下面你看它这边有写 Live in the moment， 它是叫你活在当下，叫你好好把握时间，不要再拖延了。
哦，就是要让我当时间管理大师就对了。
对，我们要成为时间管理大师。
哦，好用心哦，好哦。我们等一下不是做皮革吗？
那我们等一下做皮革的时候可以看一下它还有什么功能可以用，感觉很不错哎，它还有倒数这些其他的东西。
哦，看一下，生日、旅游、纪念、考试、结婚、聚会、会议、回诊，哦，好多哦。
我们等一下来玩看看。
哦，这么多行程可以用。好，大家试试看吧。Welcome back to our channel。知道为什么我今天要用英文开场吗？因为我今天要当1日国际大师的 One Day Intern。让我们欢迎 Mr. Black。今天要迎来我们的新企划，就是从零开始学。但是这次我们请到的是外师，然后朵乐本身的英文呢，My English is poor， 所以我们请到我们的小海龟米卡。
大家好，我是小海龟，我是米卡，但我的英文其实也还行。
他算是我们今天的 translator， 耶！欢迎 translator。然后再欢迎我们的讲师，从英国来的讲师 Mr. Black。
黑先生。
兴奋。
哟，你好，我中文不好。我那个爱。
那我想要问老师几个问题。老师来台湾多久啦？
I've been in Taiwan almost 15 years.
15 years?
哇，15年。
15年 why come there? For study or?
Taiwan's an awesome country.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so and why you start doing the leather things? You like it or?
Actually, it was many years ago. I bought some leather products online, and they were just really bad quality.
哦，他因为他之前
You go on like
品质不好的，对对。
it was all like made in China stuff. It was terrible. Use it one time,
Like
break. Yeah. So I got fed up with how bad the stuff was, and I decided to start making the stuff myself.
Oh.
So I've been making leather and designing and making leather products and items in Taiwan over 10 years. I hand make I design my own stuff. I hand make it. I hand dye it as well. So yeah.
哦，它是手染 hand dye it.
Yeah.
Wow, so cool. So you have your own brand or?
Yeah. I use my own brand.
Wow.
真硬。
Lily, how to say?
Lily
Leather. 大家支持一下。
Lily
Leather.
这是 Mr. Black 老师的店，他的皮革店。
对，大家有兴趣我们会放在下方资讯栏哦。
对。
好，谢谢。
那老师，我们今天要做皮革的步骤是什么啊？
I thought we'd start off with a quick introduction to leather and the different types of leather that you can get. Then we can move on to what we're actually going to make today, which is a set of garters. Then we're going to go through the process of making those. So we'll have to cut the leather, we'll have to trim and edge the leather, we will do our own dye work, so we'll colour the leather ourselves. Then we have to sort of stamp and punch holes, sew everything together, and yeah. And then we can add a little bit of, maybe if it's we have enough time, we can add a little bit of decoration, and then yeah, that's it.
米卡，既然我们有这个时钟，我想我们来比赛看看谁先把皮革做完。
好，我接受这个挑战。来。
因为刚刚老师说，好像做皮革要花2到3个小时的时间，我觉得我们应该不用做3小时，让我们手艺。对，所以我们就设定2个半小时。来，镜头指令看一下这边 2个小时又30分钟。
3、2、1。
耶，我们要开始做了，
期待。
请老师教学开始。We can start.
Yeah. So, like I said, first thing I thought we could do is give you guys a quick introduction to different kinds of leather. So, what I have here are 2 kinds of leather. And the first one I'm going to introduce is this stuff. This is chrome tanned leather. Okay, so
很软嘞，是不是手？
yeah, well, leather comes in different thicknesses. So you have to remember that leather is skin, and you get leather from many different animals. You get it from cows, pigs, sharks, crocodiles, snakes, lots of different animals. Most leather comes from cows. Chrome tanned leather goes through a chemical process when it is tanned. Tanned is the process of making skin into leather. Chrome tanned leather uses various different chemicals, and what they do is they put the color into the leather and then they put it into various chemicals. So this color is stuck inside the leather. This color will never change. It's there permanently. So, and also, my experience, it tends to make the leather a bit softer. Personally, I prefer vegetable tanned leather. So I've already dyed this leather green so that it's the same color, but you can see the differences between how soft and how hard the leather is, and so you can see the.
所以同个原料在不同的皮革上显现的颜色会不一样，然后柔软度也会不一样。
对，真的。
那他说这个是更多化学药剂在里面嘛，对吧？就它颜色不会再变的。
对，
不管怎么洗应该都不会变。
So it won't change the color.
So vegetable tanned leather is they use various vegetables, quite literally like things like potatoes. They use various vegetables to tan the leather, and they tan it as a natural leather color. So like this. This is natural vegetable tanned leather. Okay? And it's like this. And this leather you can dye yourself. You can put dye onto this. So I can put any kind of colors that I want into the leather as long as that dye is there. So these 2 pieces I have already done dye on. And there's a few, I find that there are some benefits because you can see that this color is kind of flat. This color has a lot more depth to it. It's a more rich color. Okay. The other thing is that while this color is stuck the way it is, it won't change. This, being a more natural leather, means that over time it will absorb things such as dirt, grease, sweat, and it will start to get darker.
那我可以好奇，那通常那种国际品牌用的名牌包都用哪一种皮革？我相信很多女生都想知道。来问一下。
You know, like Gucci or Chanel, they have many leather bags, right?
Yes.
How which leather they use?
I can't tell you exactly what they use. I know that some Hermes bags are handmade. And I'm pretty sure that they use a more like a vegetable tanned leather in the hand making process because it's much nicer to work with vegetable tanned leather than chrome tanned leather. Chrome tanned leather is very soft. It's almost like working with a fabric and not working with leather.
爱马仕通常都会用这种皮革，比较有质感，比较有
它比
质量。
较硬，像这种，它就会太软了，像它会有点像布料，它没有办法撑起来。你看它这样，
对，包包就没有办法这么的挺。
But most commercial products you will buy in the store will be made with chrome tanned leather. And the simple reason is it's cheaper.
对嘛？你看爱马仕都这一种，这是比较贵的。那一般那种夜市我就会用这种便宜的。
鲁班腾就是用这种。So today we will choose this leather to do, right?
Yes. Today we are going to be using.
用比较好的皮革去做我们的那个。
我跟爱马仕用同款的。
用同款的皮革去做我们的那个腿皮裤。
然后那我们老师要先帮我们示范要怎么 cut the leather。
切皮革。
So, first we need some leather. Then
你的工具箱，哇
we need some tools. First we're gonna need
还有质感的工具箱哦。
so
喜欢
knife, rattle.
好长
We
的
are
尺。
going to need a straight edge ruler. For the garters that we are going to make today, which are these, we are first going to need strips of leather to make these. So, this is 2 centimeters, so very simple to just
2公分宽。
along the straight edge of the leather.
你看你腿围多少？对啊 ，measure 来。
We just use the sharp edge of the rattle, gives us a nice
然后
mark
漂
line
亮的一条直线
in。the leather. And then
美工刀，
you just use a sharp craft knife and line that up. And then you don't want to cut in one go, and be very careful of fingers. You don't want to, that's not good. Just very gently, many times,
多画几次。
then it'll
哇，
OK， 我还有美工刀就可以了，好吧？
and then we just keep going. And it's important to, you want to keep the knife against the metal ruler, because if you're not careful, it can slide away, and then you end up cutting your piece of leather. There we go, and we have 1 strip of leather ready for making our garter. Start cutting.
耶，好，
用在一起。OK， 那我们就开始切吧。
做
就很好奇，在进货的时候，这个皮革要从哪边来啊？是不是进很大一张
I personally, I like to go and get it in a store.
？Store？
Yes, there's here in Taipei. There's 2-3 different stores I know of where you can buy this kind of
所以
leather.
台北有3间店可以买。
The store is only for leather or you sell other things?
Well, it sell. It depends on the store. Each one's a little different, but they normally sell things which is leather and tools and other things to do with making things out of leather. So yeah, they're a specific leather store.
Because you mentioned like the machine you have used to cut the leather is very big, so the leather we bought in the store is a huge one, or just like the.
Oh, I don't use a machine to cut my leather. I do I cut all my leather by hand. But when you buy leather, you can buy it in a couple of different sizes, but it will normally be based on the animal it comes from. So if you're buying cow leather, which is the most common, you will buy normally a shoulder, a belly, half a hide, or a whole hide.
是买部位吗？
So you have to buy the whole cow, or
Well,
you can
not literally, no. But if you buy a whole hide, it is basically you can roll it out flat, and you have that. You can kind of see where the neck is, the front legs, the back legs, and then where the tail is. You can see the shape of the whole cow. There's no straight edges around the outside. You can buy leather online, but I like to buy it myself. The reason for that is because it means I get to see the leather before I buy it.
touch it.
Well, it's not just that. You have to remember that leather is skin and it comes from an animal. So if that animal, for example, hurts itself, cuts itself, and it heals, it'll get a scar. So then later on, when the leather is made, you can see that scar in the leather.
避免买那种伤口的皮革。怎么样来量？
我们要量
谁先？
谁？好了，我先。好啦，49.5
49.5。
Sure.
老是怀疑，
That's 49.
That's 49.
That's 49.
哦，更细一点。
真的
耶！
好想 make sure。
That's 49.
要紧一点才会掉下来。
对，绑紧一点。那你好瘦哦，太不合理了。
30。
38.
老师惊呆了。38。
No, I'd go 37.
就是它还要再更紧一点，因为我们还会打洞啊。
You need to eat a sandwich.
还是要多吃一点。
I eat a lot.
And then we can
哦，
mark the
好
middle
方便哦。
对啊，
哦，哇哦，
of the leather.
对啊。
So now we know the middle of the leather. Then this is the noisy part.
Noisy part. You're gonna punch it.
Oh, we're gonna have some fun with
Hammer.
hammer time. So first we're going to use one of these. So again, there's another stamp tool, and it's designed to give this shaped end to the leather.
尖尖的。
Right. Get a good grip, and then
敲它。
there you go. Yeah, it'll fly off.
超快的。
And there you go. There's a nice end.
哦，
Yeah. Then we can take the stamp, the whole bunch. We line it up. One end, the other end.
对准刚刚画的那个点，你要穿金属扣环的点，然后一样敲它，敲它，我要离远一点，要不要喷到？
This one won't fly out, don't worry.
我桌子还蛮坚固
对
的。
啊对啊，是哪一家的
Everything's jumping.
？Sturdy。
There we go.
桌子要不要找我们业配一下？
And
再敲一个。
and then that is
金属扣完扣上去了，哦，好漂亮哦。
第一个，第五个。
so we need 2 of these, and then we need to make the second half. So we'll let you guys make this bit first.
好，先制作第一条皮革。
好，
对，但是我忘了差不多了。
对，差不多。刚刚什么几公分？几公分？
加油！
加油！加油！
Yeah. This is just to get you started.
OK。我们要手长歪掉。
我们这个电。好。
可以，有。
那我觉得这是力气的，
对啊。
力气的那个关系。那敲的时候都很怕敲自己的手，你知道吗？
对啊，所以不敢敲太用力。
对。
There you go.
我成功。
Well done. No, use the brother and pick it out.
Faster.
There you go. There you go.
哦，成功！
哦。
哦，稍微斜一点点。
对，来。
It's okay, it just takes practice. Okay, so we've now got 2
我现在做两
parts
个。
of our garter. Now we're going to make the second parts of our garter. So we've got the first part here with our fold over for the buckle, and now we need to make this part. And this part we are going to change the length for your measurements. Okay?
哦，做我们腿围的。
And again, we are going to mark the center.
1公分的地方再画一条线。
好流畅。
对啊，老手。哦。
Okay, now we're going to measure. So we have to join these 2 pieces of leather together. So we need to have an overlap.
哦。
Okay? I like to use 5 centimeters overlap.
哦，就是在5公分的地方，就是你要放那个金属扣环的地方，先画5公分，然后从5公分的地方开始量你刚刚的腿围是多少。
哦。那交叉的地方要多长？
交叉的地方也是5公分。
From the start to here. And we keep going to, which is right there. And that is going to be where we put the middle hole.
哦，中间的那个洞。
对，
我要
就是
做中间那个洞。
你的腿围的那个点是中间的洞。
洞跟洞距离2公分。
对。
So that gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. And then we need a little bit at the end
再多留一点空
For
间。
that, I'm just going to do 1, 2, 3 centimeters. If the size is really wrong, it gives you enough space to put one more hole.
哦，如果你这不小心弄错，你还有一个洞可以戳啦，有拯救的机会。
对，
再来敲一下。
不是看梦
给他左脚。
You're not going to get hit by this bit. Don't worry. Annoy the neighbours.
我同意了。
And we can use this tool, the right size.
还需要用那个好酷哦。
It's just a simple hole punch. You can buy these in most craft stores. Let's go with a 4. And you just want to take the hole and then very gently line it up. So you can squeeze a little bit. You can see just a very faint line. You want to try and get it so that the circle, the hole is in the middle of the circle.
可以先压，稍微轻轻压一下，看一下这个位置。
It might take a couple of tries, but there we go. There's one.
哦，好爽哦，那个声音。
好好用哦，
对啊
打洞机。
我需要哎。
2, 3, 4, 5.
很适合录 ASMR 的。
对对对对对，刚刚声音真的，下次可以用看看。
So there we go. There's our 2 pieces to make 1 guard.
哦
Okay.
，OK。
So go.
OK。
Go go go. That's your middle hole.
Yeah, middle hole and
And
2
then
centimeter
each
back
side.
and yeah. Okay. 我要继续敲喽 punch again.
等一下，
well, this is a cut, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
No. Yeah, but you should get the size first.
换？为什么我不能？为什么老师给我就不行？
Put your 5 holes and then 3 centimeters. There's your middle. 1, 2, then 3 centimeters. Yep. Okay.
心累。
你看我怎么压就是这样，就这样，一半都不到1/3。这洞很大。
Squeeze at the end, you get more power.
You see？
哦，可以。
这还是这是要力量吧？
对啊，
就即使握最后面也是。
是不是要站起来会比较有力？
是。
You think standing up is going to... Okay.
哦，他好忙哦，老师还一只手动我的手动。
哦，还没。
OK。
Yeah。
哦。
So it's basically it's a bit like this. It's a machine that has the arm and you just kind of pull it, and it will push slowly to make a hole or this. All good?
I need your help with this hole.
Okay. Now we have a little box of fun. So we're each going to need buckles and clips, and we can do some preparation if we want to do some decoration.
哦，铆钉哦。
We can. Now we're going to use these on these bits here. The rivet. We're going to use rivets here, but we can decorate by adding rivets. We can decorate by little spikes, and we can decorate by adding the little shiny. Oh, I think I've got white, red, and blue. You can decorate using little shiny gem bits.
所以染色之前我们要先做那个装饰。对，有很多铆钉可以选。
I also brought stamps.
哇，这么硬，这么硬，
有印章。
哇，好漂亮哦！哇
So we can make words.
哦。
So if you want to put a word or a name or something on there, we can hammer that in.
哇，我可以把名字放上去哎。
哦，好棒哦。
我的英文名字上
The
去。
tricky part about this is you have to remember that you've got to write it backwards.
Also, you have to.
Because otherwise, when you stand there, it comes out the wrong way around.
So you have to write it down first.
哦，所以要先从
要从屁股
S 开始。哦。哦，我好喜欢这部分哦。
对啊，我喜欢压，就是像它上面可以压名字。
我看它有这个舒服哈。就除
就
了那个
看一下
字母之外，还有
小爱心。
#hashtag me。
对啊，可以 hashtag 啊。
Good for Instagram.
I want a hashtag。
对，米卡的话是 A 音线。哇，漂亮哦。DORIS。Yeah。
This handle, and then we can take our stamp. We can put it lined up.
哦，要对齐线。
And
然后
then
放在角落敲，对，真的坏掉哦，小心哦，各位。
again hammer it.
你各位小心。哦，我感受到它的力度哦，好漂亮哦！哎，它的字形超美的。
漂亮哦，这个字传。
Hashtag Mika.
Yeah, hashtag Mika.
Hashtag Mika.
So it's
Okay.
AKI.
M-I-K-I-A.
N-I-K-A, so it's A-K-I.
M-I-K-A. Okay.
思考一下。
对
A-K-I-N hashtag， 而且需要很多刚刚见过的桌子。
对。
真的很用力。
都不敢说话，屏气凝神。Yeah,
There we go.
done.
Now we get to use this tool. This tool, very simple. You want to hold the leather quite firm with this tool. We're going to push it along the edge.
哦，要
右
小
边。老师帮我刮完嘞。
那顺便我的也一起。
不知不觉。
你们两个要做呢。
它做出来会很丑。
Here we go.
Here we go.
我感觉我越刮越糟，就是好像本来还好哦，但是你要刮完之后反而
没有 refine 的效
对
果。
啊，反而更多屑屑。
It's okay, keep going.
我觉得刮完之后更糟哎，怎么
更毛这
对啊，
样子。
对啊，怎么感觉更毛？
哦，这样就可以了。
There you go. You can hear it.
你猜
That's okay.
哎，对于这次那个拍皮革的一个初体验，你觉得怎么样？
我觉得蛮新奇的，对，因为这是算是我第一次手做皮革，之前有做过卡片或是钞票蛋糕，就是蛮喜欢手做，但是皮革算是我第一次做。对，一开始觉得哦应该很简单吧，因为我做其他的手工品，我自己觉得做的蛮好的，但没想到自己下去做之后，才发现没有我想象中的这么简单。耗时了大概6、7个小时才完成。
对于你有没有什么觉得遇到困难的地方？
从开始的时候到结尾，就是中间都有遇到一些困难，比如说我第一次用 hammer， 我拿锤子钉东西，是我人生的第一次。对，那时候就不知道怎么施力，很怕钉到自己的手，施力点一开始也抓不好。所以就是一直钉不下去，就是非常大声很吵，但是没有作用。但后来钉了大概5次6次之后，我就发现，敲几下其实就成功了。对，慢工出细活。
Okay, next thing we need to do is we need to make holes so that we can sew the leather. with fabric, you can take a needle and you can push the needle through the fabric because the fabric is soft. But you can't do that with leather, it's too thick. So we have got two places that we need to sew. We need to sew here and we need to sew here. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is, we've already got our mark, 5 centimeter mark. We can do a very quick 5 centimeter mark on the other one. So now we know where the two overlaps are. And what we're going to do is line that up. I'm just going to use the pencil. There. That's what we need to sew. We take our calipers. We can adjust them. And it's very easy to make a couple of lines. The last one we can't do because we have no edge, but we can just do it by eye. Use the bradawl. Hit the line. So now we need to put the holes. And I'm just marking this now for our sewing. And we need to do the holes here and here to sew them together. This is easier. And we have holes ready for sewing. Okay, so go, go, go. That's it. That's fine. Okay, and the other end. Oh, we're not finished yet. So, when you've done one side, you have to do the other side. And here's a trick. You line them up, because you've already got your 5 centimeter mark. So you line them up, take the tool, and you just push. And when you're finished, you have already the holes. So then you can go straight to then you've got the holes, so you can sew these two pieces together. Make the mark on both sides. Okay, that's fine. We can use this tool again to mark the lines. And we now know, you can see, we need to go from this mark backwards, this mark this way. We just need to know how many holes. So we don't go from here. There we go, to the end. And then we've got the holes so that when we fold it over, it all lines up. And it'll be easy to sew. And that is not all the hammering. There's still more. But do this first. You've got lots and lots of marks here. The question becomes which ones are the right ones. So many holes. There are holes. Okay. You have got. No. Need more hammers. Don't worry about this, it's okay. We can leave it. buckle. Hold it.
哦，要卷起来。
You get a better fit. You can push it back a bit. There you go. So, there's your 5cm mark.
嗯，
All right, the bit you guys really want to do.
我们终于要染色了。
First, you need
Gloves.
some gloves. Because we are going to be using leather dye. Well, leather dye is for dyeing leather. Leather is skin. If you get the dye on your hands will change funny colours for a long time. It takes a long time for the colour to come out. I know, I've done it before.
哦，
蓝色就变阿凡达。
好，对。
Now we're all ready for surgery.
Surgery.
So there's a few different ways you can put dye onto leather. I find that just using a sponge is quite good. It soaks up enough the dye and it can get the dye on quite well. We're going to get our leather. Now, pick a colour.
I want dark brown.
Oh,
Blue.
and I'm going to do yellow and green. Okay, so you take a colour and just pour some of the dye onto the sponge and then spread it on. That's it. It really is that simple. To apply the dye, it is actually very easy. The tricky part is when you come to how many layers of dye. I think 2 layers of dye gives a better colour. But for certain dyes, 2 layers is too much. That's okay, that's why we put something down. Okay, that's why we wear gloves and that's why we have something we can throw away. So put a bit more dye on the sponge and squeeze it into the holes. Yeah, so when you've got the dye like this, you can squeeze the sponge and the dye will drip out. So you can use that to squeeze it on. That way, when you've got a hole like this, you can make sure that the dye gets inside. So when you've got these holes, you want to make sure you've got a good amount of dye in the hole in the sponge, and then you squeeze it in to get the dye all on the inside of the holes. So it'll all soak up into the leather. Nice, good even colour. Yeah, don't worry too much about the sewing. Don't forget to do the edges.
旁
Again,
边
it's
也
just
要，侧边。
yeah, use a little bit more dye. You can just should be able to squeeze it on, just and rub. You don't need to dab it. And the back of the leather is a bit more rough, so it sometimes takes a little bit more work to get the dye onto the back of the leather.
然后我们现在要
上蜡，
对，
忘记要干嘛了。好 ，OK。
Okay, so now we've got the dye on, we need to use some wax to seal the leather. This is going to protect the leather and keep it in good condition. So, just take a little bit, wax on a cloth, rub it on, rub it in, get a good layer of wax in there. And depending on what colour dye you've used, you will see a little bit of a colour change
上颜色可
in
能会
the
改
leather,
变。
and you want to make sure you get all the edges.
然后侧边、两边的都
每个角度都要上吧。
If you're doing work which has 2 colours, start on the light colour first. You can end up spreading the dye around a little bit. You can see the cloth has been used.
明白。
Dye is coming up on the cloth sometimes. It depends the colour of the dye and how long you let it dry. So, bit of cloth. Cloth. Go.
对，有啦，有。颜色有稍微变。
You'll get a little darker.
会变深一点。
When you have very dark color already, you may not see it. When you have a lighter color, it's easier to see. Okay. But this is also part of just looking after your leather, because with vegetable tan leather, it's like skin. It's like if you want to keep your skin good, you have to use moisturizing cream, and you need to clean it. So you need to look after your leather. So you need to use, there are special leather soaps. You want to use a special leather soap to clean your leather. And after you've cleaned your leather, you want to use the same oil and rub that into the leather to keep the leather in good condition. Okay, now that we have got our leather nicely waxed, it will be protected, we can use this, it's a slick tool, or a slicking tool, and we're just going to pick the right size. In this case, we're going to be using this one. We're just going to rub it along the edge, and you can see it smooths and rounds off the leather. So where we used this tool before to take some of that material off, to cut a little bit off, this is finishing the job. Where you have double thickness here, you can use one of the bigger sizes to round it all over. Go! Slicking.
这边就是看得出来哈，有屑屑，有边边。这里就是已经磨好是圆的。
If you want to make the edge even smoother, there is an edging wax that we can also put on. But I normally do that when the leather is a bit drier and a bit harder. I can't.
Why can't?
我觉得很有趣的部分就是染色，其实我从头就很想要就是试染色这个步骤，因为我从来没有染过任何的布料啊、纺织品，是从来没有过的。然后我意想不到，居然用海绵就可以做染色这个动作，比我想象中的更简单。那我一开始以为会就是整盆颜料，然后皮革下去浸下去，然后拉起来那种感觉，结果不是，是要慢慢的沾海绵，然后慢慢的这样刷过去。对，依照你刷的程度，可以决定颜色的深浅，所以就是手工的奥妙。
Okay, now sewing.
Yeah.
Okay, I've already got you guys some thread, which I have already waxed.
哦，要上蜡。
Okay, it's important when you're sewing with leather to wax the thread. This is actually special thread for sewing leather. It's thicker and stronger than normal sewing thread, but you still have to wax it. And the reason you wax it is because if you don't, when you sew the holes, it'll get stuck and break. The wax is there to make it slide through better. So just line it up. And then pick a hole, any hole, and I start in with, you see I'm not starting on one side of that, I'm starting between the two pieces. Now when you pull the thread through, you want to be careful, because if the thread gets tied up, you get a knot, then you're going to break the thread. You need my help! We've only started! What happened?
I don't know how to sew it. You know, it's like
I thought sewing was a pretty easy thing to do.
I don't know which hole is the next one, and is it from up or down?
Okay, so
So.
let's take a look. Okay, so you can see first hole. Okay, so you're going to come back in. You can see that it's going to be this hole. Just make sure it goes through there. That way, you can see it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Go through, and you want to pull until you get close to the end here. Okay.
哦，就是一般的上下。OK.
Back in.
不是什么很特别的头发，我想的太复杂了。
就是线很长。
对，就是线很长，大家小心不要打结。你打结你就要剪掉重来哦，重来。对，就是刚刚这是我的线嘛，它刚刚是从下面穿上来，所以现在我要从上面穿到它隔壁的洞。对，有看很好。这样把它拉出来，记得抓好你的针哦，不然等下会跟我一样，就是不知道哪一条是真的线，然后就乱穿，然后就会打结，很可怕。打结你就要重来了。对，然后现在我要从下面这边有个洞，对，穿到来。我希望我穿得过去。好，对，这样子抓好针，然后拉出来。对，好。
缝纫部分跟之前在缝纽扣的感觉是不一样的，因为皮革比较厚一点点，然后你要对齐2层皮革的洞，我觉得那是非常难的，比平常在穿纽扣，因为纽扣的洞很大嘛，然后只有1层，你要对准2层皮革两边的洞，然后来回穿梭，真的是非常的困难，而且线会比平常缝衣服还要长，这是我觉得蛮大的挑战。
Okay, after all that sewing, after I have finished all of that sewing,
老师帮我们对了，
老师做了很多。
we now have our connected pieces and our buckle sewn in. But this is basically a small belt. This is not a garter yet. We have to turn it into the garter by making these little pieces. That's the garter. So we have our thin pieces we have from earlier, and we have our little clips. And then we are going to rivet these together. Now, normally I don't like riveting because sewing is much stronger than riveting. But this part doesn't need to be very strong because it's only going to be holding up a pair of stockings. So it doesn't need to be very strong. So we're going to take one piece, take your clip, put it over the short end, fold over, you see, like this. And then we just take the rivet, push it through the back, to the front.
Oh.
You've got a short one, you need a long one.
long one. 先放长的，
I'd actually say that's backwards,
再
but
放短的，短的。clip， 耶，完成2个。
oh no, not finished yet. We've clipped the rivets together so they're holding, but they haven't been fixed. To fix them, we need this.
Oh.
This tool. It's very simple. You can see the rivet fits in the hole. And this tool is made to fit the rivet. Put it in the hole. You want to make sure it's in the right hole and in the hole. Sorry, like this. Make sure you get it the right way round because mine didn't work. And then, and now that is squished, flat, riveted, tight, and strong. And then all you need to do is take it and slide it over the end. And then almost there.
完成了！
哇，哎，好漂亮哦 ！So pretty。
Yeah, another color.
敲。
来，hammer 喽，大家注意哦。
Whoa. Yeah.
大家注意哦。
Yeah. Hold that tight.
来，
Give it good. Put your hand on top. Yeah, hit me. Yeah.
I want to do again.
There you go. Good. Good.
Okay.
Good.
Tighter.
No, that's good. That's in tight. There you go.
Wow.
Yep, that feels good. Good. Okay, slide it on.
结束，完
终于
成。
Done.
完成了。
When then you do, yeah, that's it. When then you do a little sip. You can do that. That's it.
是剩下的。
It'll be hard.
You okay?
Yeah.
For this, you just do that.
Oh, God.
Okay. You just have to make sure it's high enough.
哦，就是这样子，
把它弄高一点，
然后就可以夹这样。
啊，哎，好酷哦！
哇，我们做完之前时间就已经到了，但是米卡还是比我早先做完，所以她是今天的赢家。
我就赢了，超会做的，我手很巧。
对，我们要多多加油。
对，我们下次再练习。那也是今天谢谢我们老师，他非常的辛苦，他的手很酸，一直帮我们
帮我们缝，
对，
常常帮我们救火。
对，这两个很挑的人。
我们的黑先生呢，其实有自己的虾皮卖场，然后叫做 Lily's Leather。如果想要知道更多的资讯或是优惠专属链接的话，都可以看影片下方的资讯栏，都有链接可以点进去哦。那我们今天的影片就到这边结束啦。
那记得帮我们按赞、订阅、分享，并开启小铃铛，这样才能收到最新的影片资讯哦。
我们下次见，
拜拜。
我觉得蛮好的，因为我蛮喜欢学习新东西的，对，算是人生的体验吧。就蛮期待之后还会学习，不管是动态跟静态的，我都想要试试看。